this and start it off?
Yeah, sure thing.
I don't know. All right. Welcome to a new episode of the Swing and Miss podcast. I'm your host, Winslow, and today I have the man who makes the Schnares, Auris. How are you doing, Auris?
Hello, I'm doing good. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming on this ragtag show.
Thank you for having me on there.
Yeah.
I love babbling and chatting about all stuff music, so
Yeah.
happy to be here.
That's awesome, man. I love looking into your room. That's what I do with these. I feel like this is an excuse just to see where people are, like your massive sound trap and then like your mixers and stuff. And then there's so much clutter behind me. But at this point, like if I change it, I feel like someone's going to complain.
If you take out the poop pillow, then
I feel like
people will miss it.
It's crazy because like someone did comment on like one video once and like, your hat's in a different place. I wonder what's gonna be different next time. It's like, man, can you guys just like listen to? I guess what I'm saying is not that interesting half the time.
Room really nice though.
Yeah, thanks.
Although, is this also your studio room? Were you in?
Yep, just bedroom, studio. So desk is like right here, and then everything else behind me. So I guess I can treat that as just like a real big bass trap.
Yeah, but isn't that wood paneling like horrible for your acoustics?
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, it's funny because
how do you do it?
Exactly, headphones basically. But it's funny because like the stuff that would go in a bass trap is what's behind the paneling. So like a lot of sound, so sound stays in here and it's all reflective, but there's not a whole lot of sound outside the room. And I guess that's how bedrooms and houses are supposed to be made. But for a studio, it's a reflective mess a lot of the time.
But then you can basically rip off the wood paneling and just like put a piece of cloth on there and you have a very nice studio room.
You know that, I don't know, I've never thought of that. But I feel like because it's my mom's house, she'll just be like, what are you doing now? Because she hates when I put like thumbtacks and stuff in the wall. So I guess that's why it's good while like moving in like a few weeks. Then I can ruin that place.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
But it is one of the benefits of having your own place that you can basically do whatever with it. Although I have decided, because I moved last summer, and I have decided that like this little room I'm in here, it's gonna be a complete ergonomic mess.
Yeah.
All in the name of acoustics.
Yeah.
And at some point I did consider like I have some speaker downstairs as well just to listen to music. And I have considered putting up bass traps there just for like the sound in my living room. But at some point I was like, okay, maybe that's not the nicest way to decorate a living room.
They have like the ones you can get that have like art and designs on them, but it's still cloth. But they always look kind of like weird, like it belongs in like a business kind of environment.
Yeah. No, I know the ones you mean. Yeah. I did actually consider for a while, these diffusers, which are like basically a lot of different lengths of wood on a big panel.
Yeah.
And they can look quite nice, especially with like the right finish on them.
Yeah, those...
So I did consider putting one of those up on the wall as sort of a painting kind of decoration, but then have it be a diffuser.
Yeah, there's definitely.
But in the end, I didn't actually go with that.
Yeah, there's definitely like I guess a tasteful way to like, because so many people have like home studios and make it look like it's not a studio, but it's like you can still live here, like those kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But before we go too far, I guess have to introduce you. So I'll let you do it. Who are you? Who's Auris? The producer and
Auris,
everyone else. And
yeah.
How do you describe yourself?
And I'm a guy who makes drum and bass music most of the time.
Yeah.
I also made a few hip hop bits recently. I guess everyone describes my style as being jazzy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
People call me the jazz man.
It's true.
There's a few memes about that I talk about jazz way too much, which, to be fair, they are kind of true. But recently, I've also been trying to expand my sound a bit beyond that. But yeah, for who I am, I guess some inspirations would be FD is a big one.
Yeah.
Guys like Film is also a big one. Then there's like the whole jazzics kind of label crowd.
Yeah.
Guys like Paul G. So already there's a lot of names who also make jazzy music.
Yeah, so it like makes sense when I like listen to your music, and then I don't know, I have to act like I don't know, like we haven't talked about this already, but it's like yeah, your music is just, it's definitely has that feeling, and I feel like in like the last year or two of you talking about jazz so much, it's like now I know an Auris tune when I hear it, and that's like, do you feel that way now, or are you still just like, I don't know about my music yet?
Yeah, so I think I have my sound pretty much down to like, it has an identity.
Yeah.
Like there's always quality and execution which can be improved, but I think the identity is there. However, then again, recently I've also been trying to expand upon that. Because something that so that's about how I spend my time making music. So not so much how I go about making a song, but like in a broader scale, I'm constantly busy trying to, try out new stuff, tinkering with different sounds, and just trying to expand my skill set.
Yeah, and
that's
sorry, go ahead.
And that's I guess like that started a while back with just the basics, getting a mix down right, getting chords that don't sound super cheesy. But now it's kind of progressing onward from there. So I've been listening to guys like Zero T a lot.
Yes.
Like, which is a very different sound. It's a lot more aggressive, a lot more rough around the edges. And lately I've been just trying to get my sound roughed up.
Yeah.
And probably at some point I will be able to get that sound down, and I will make a nice track in that sound, and I will move on again to a different, like, it's not like I'm completely switching out my sound. It's not I'm not becoming Auris the Neurofunk producer overnight.
I can't wait for that, by the way.
I do know how to make some neuro basses, but I'm not very good at them.
Yeah. Man,
but it is... Oh, sorry.
All right. You keep going. It's about you.
Yeah, but it is like a constantly. So I have my bass sound, my basic sound down, which is of course all the jazzy stuff, some sampling, some saxophones and all that. But I'm constantly looking for, okay, so how can I make my basses interesting again for the next track and for the next one?
Yeah, that's one thing I think I've like picked up on, like kind of your process, like hearing you like explain it. It's like, okay, because I've been like watching your streams and stuff on Twitch, by the way. And it's like, and like another thing, like hearing you just like, I can't do it, but like when you're working, you just like completely explain everything that you're doing as you do it, and I get lost in that sometimes. But then like you transitioning from like the jazzy stuff, so like comparison to like Paul SG and Jazzics, and now I can totally see you moving to like a Zero T kind of still jazzy R&B, that really clean production, but then it still has like a lot of impact and like distortion and stuff like that. And it's even funnier because now like just listening to those like producers, FD is like right in the middle of that, to where he kind of bridges that sound. So now I'm like, okay, ours is just kind of following this whole trajectory, and like you getting there is like, and you haven't explained it, is like really cool to just put all those little ideas together.
Yeah, so so some artists say like, oh, all my inspirations, they all come from outside of drum and bass. For me, that's, well, there's a lot of inspiration in terms of stuff that I sample, and then I work from a sample.
Yeah.
But a lot of the sounds and where I want to take a track is all inspiration from within drum and bass. So very often, for example, FD had a new release on CIA.
Yeah.
And a little while later, Nympho did a release there as well. And both which I really liked, and I really liked like the whole impact of the sounds, the more gritty basses and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of want to try and see if I can do that. And since then, I've made like 5 tracks in that style. The first 4 of which are absolutely terrible. 5th one is kind of alright.
That's what it takes sometimes.
Not great yet. But like I will literally just sit down and pull like a FD track into Ableton and just go, okay, so he does like long bass, long low bass, then gritty mid bass, then another gritty mid bass moving down, and then a long low bass again. Like, okay, so I can make a sort of similar pattern, just in terms of like a similar bass line.
Yeah.
And then I will just take the individual sounds and just try to recreate them.
Yeah, I feel like you can definitely hear that like on the. It's not your latest tune, because your latest is the one that I'm going to talk about later with Colette Warren, isn't it? That's your like the last release you had. But before that, on the Gold Fat comp, your tune Altruist, like that was completely like, is this the new Auris versus all like the jazz stuff before that? And now like I'm getting that together now that you're trying and like to expand your sound and stuff, but like it's still you. That's the thing. Like I hear the drums and like, okay, yep, that's Auris, but here's like some new ideas he's trying out, and it's working.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think on my EP on Differential, you can sort of like hear the predecessor to Altruist. Because there's a tune on there which is also a lot deeper and darker than what I do usually. In hindsight, honestly, like the whole grittiness was kind of missing from the track, but you learn as you go. So
definitely, I think it's going. I don't necessarily know. I guess the right direction wouldn't be able to put it, because I mean it's all up to you, and I just like hearing it. I want to hear a new Auris tune all the time. But
thank you.
Yeah, I definitely get the. Okay, I made five of these, and the first 4 were terrible, but this 5th one sounds kind of good. And then I also get in like the way is like, why can't I make these other 4 any good? And I just like I get stuck into trying to make those something. And then like, well, just let the 5th one be the one that goes out to public, and just be like in a post or something. If you want to see how this one came to be, check out this mountain of garbage over here. And it's. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that idea, but I like feel the same way a lot of times writing things.
Yeah, I'm actually quite easy in just letting go of ideas as well. So, like I said, I will make 4 tracks that are absolutely terrible, and I will, save every bass sound as a preset, and I will maybe save a few drum layers if they are any good. And I will trash the project, and we'll never look back on it.
Man, I feel like I need to. I'm just learning. I'm just learning from you how I need to let go. It's like I have kind of like 2 separate or 2 similar things in that I won't let something go, but I'm also afraid to like bounce instruments and move on, just that commitment level. So I'll just have a full project, and it's like killing my computer, but I don't want to bounce anything yet because it might be I might want to change it right before the end.
Yeah, so I'm actually doing all my production on a MacBook that's from, I think, 2015.
Yeah.
And it was like the mid-tier MacBook Pro back then.
Yeah, which is...
So for me, if I make a pad with Unison, by definition, I need to bounce it as soon as I'm done writing the chords.
Man, I know that... Yeah, just like watching like the Ableton CPU meter, it'll be fine, and then you'll hit one note, and it's just like 999%, and you're just like, come on,
yeah,
please.
That's how my MacBook works, actually. The the only reason I'm even able to stream is because at my work we had a HDMI capture card.
Oh yeah.
Which was once a long time ago. It might have been used to do like product demos, video recording, some kind of stuff. I'm not even sure why. But it had been laying in a closet, and nobody even knew it was there anymore. So at some point I found it, and I asked if I could take it home, and I could.
Man, it just works out perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to stream from one computer, especially a laptop, can just like, all right, guys, I made a drum break. That's it for the stream because my computer can't handle the rest. I know the feeling.
Like, I probably couldn't even make a drum break.
Yeah,
but actually, yeah, my work is it's a pretty cool place because I won't bore you with like my day job too much, but I'm a software developer by day.
Yeah,
and we do this thing where before we actually start writing any code, we do design thinking, which is like this whole methodology of thinking outside of the box, getting to the core of a problem, finding a solution that's human-centric, and there's a whole bunch of buzzwords around it.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, our office has this space, which is just a bunch of large walls which can rotate, and they have a bunch of whiteboards on them and some shelving space in them. And there's a whole bunch of creative stuff in there. For example, there's some egg shakers laying around there.
Nice.
So I've been trying actually to record some of them as well. Turns out my sense of rhythm is actually so bad that I can't even shake an egg in time.
You're telling me, man. I have an egg shaker in my drawer that I just bought because it was like, I had this thing, $1 to your card or something. I'm like, hey, I'm going to record a bunch of shakers and I'm going to do this stuff. And the most I use it is it just sits on the desk and I'm like waiting for something to load or bounce. I'm just like, just doing this.
Yeah.
And then I put it away.
I just made a very conscious mental note to put it out of reach because otherwise, for the rest of the podcast, you will kind of hear this.
Yeah.
In the background going on.
I know that feeling. Didn't you do was it last year you did a stream from your like work, didn't you? Like, was it the same area?
That's the same area, yeah.
Yeah. Like, so I guess in that way, like, how does, cause I mean, I guess writing music and like being a DJ is not too weird. In a sense, like, it's fine to us, like, we get it. But, like, other people, like, oh, you DJ? You write? What kind of music do you write? And I guess, like, you DJing at work, like, I guess people are just, like, kind of passing you, watching you. Are they just like, what's this guy doing? Or are they like, oh, this is Auris. We know him. He writes music for fun. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so it was actually recorded on a Saturday.
Oh, that makes it better.
I have the keys to the office, so I didn't do it while people were working there. But no, some colleagues have actually asked about it, about my music, and I guess that's the positive side of like the music that's, well, you as well, the music that we make.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to show someone like, hey, I make a nice piano music with some quick drums under it, as compared to, you know, imagine you are K9 or AZ13 or Black Sun Empire, and you need to explain people what the hell you're making.
Right. Man, I think that's the one thing that's like, I think why my like mom's starting to get it. She's like, oh, I heard that music. It's really cool. Like this part, because she can like relate it to kind of the jazzy background or the like me. I mean, I've been like a musician around her or a musician for like a while and just like playing stuff. Yeah. So she knows I'm into music, but she's like, oh, you're in this stuff. What is this? And then she'll come back the next day. Oh, I Google what drum and bass is. And it's real big in the UK and Europe. So her being mom is just like, so you trying to move away from me? You know, I can't move there with you. It's so far away. I don't know if I could live there. It's like, mom, it's not that serious. But it's just having like, it's just knowing like, even though it's, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, people like, they'll see you like, there's that difference of, oh, that's dumb, I don't get it, versus, I don't know what you're doing, but I understand you're having fun and it looks cool. So that's awesome. I guess having support. How do your parents feel about you making drum and bass? Just get real personal.
Actually, they really like it.
That's awesome.
Well, my mom's usually more for the quiet, slow background music. But so, for example, a track with Colette Warren, she said she really liked.
Yeah, and
and my dad is actually, this is actually kind of fun. My dad has been a drummer all his life, and he used to also do like the sound system for like all the bands he was in over the years.
Yeah.
And just recently, he actually picked up a new hobby, which is mixing.
Oh, so
like not like mixing down recordings of like multi-tracks of bands and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Like, so he actually bought a mixer, like one of those pre-Sonos ones.
Yep, that's like the one that people like to use now.
So he immediately bought the mixer, which is like 3 times as expensive as the one I have here, even though I've been doing it for years. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm totally not jealous, of course.
Yeah. Man, what was I going to? Is he? I mean, because you're like working, I guess, specific to like the mixer, and you have like your whole rack back there. Isn't he helping you like build the compressor and stuff, or is that your? I can't remember who you told me.
It's like a project. That was my grandpa.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So that's story. I'll get to it in a minute. But like, fun thing with my dad now is that every time I visit my parents, he's like, "Hey, yeah, I found this cool new VST bundle. Look, I've got like the British compressor emulation, and here, listen to this track I've been working on." And so we've actually we're bonding over music production now, which is really cool.
That's awesome. So we can expect a collab soon.
Well, so I actually do have this idea. It's not going to be soon because okay. So the idea is once upon a time in the future when I will be building an album. I have this concept in my mind of doing a big jam session with my dad on the drums, my best friend on guitar. He's like playing guitar for a few years, but he's getting more and more into jazz guitar. And then me myself playing piano.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So that's the idea. Well, the idea is to have like I don't know, however long jam session, and then I will just cut out like the best bits and have them as like an intro, an interlude, another interlude, and outro running throughout the album.
That's a really good idea.
So that's the idea.
Yeah.
There's only one problem.
Why?
And that's the fact that I can't play piano yet.
Yeah, but you've been working on it because you can hear it in your tunes. And then are you still doing like the virtual lessons?
No, actually, I never really did like actual lessons, but I did, Synthesia.
Yeah.
It's the app where the notes fall down on the screen and you try to play along. I did a few songs with that, but I feel like it's kind of becoming like Guitar Hero, where you can be really good at following all the lines on the screen and press the buttons at the right time. But you can't really play any real music without the game in front of you.
Yeah, now I feel attacked because I have this guitar next to me that I just don't know. I used to play it and I would like read tabs and stuff like when I was like 13, 14 because that was like a phase. I thought I would be in a band and play guitar and stuff. We had like one rehearsal and then we never did anything else after that. And now it just kind of sits in the corner to where I'm like, well, I guess I could either use like Contact for guitar or I can just play like this one little simple line. If I rehearse it for the next hour, then I can put it in the tune. And I guess that makes it worth it.
Yeah, so for me with piano, actually I have a MIDI keyboard right in front of me here. And like I'm good enough that I can say, okay, so I want an F minor and then a 7.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds nice. Then go on to maybe a C and then a minor again with like maybe a G under it.
Yeah.
That's the tempo at which I play piano right now. So there's still a long way to go there.
Man, I feel like me and you just have like the same thing because I I do the same. Even when I try to record piano in, I can't. Sometimes if it's really basic, I can maybe go chord to chord and still just have to fix things. So I'm glad it's MIDI so I can fix it. But sometimes I'll hit record and just time it and then play one chord and then start it over and then hit record and then play the next chord and try to like feel it out and then just tweak it for an hour so it sounds like I played it all in one take. And people are like, that piano was really good. It's like, you don't know how long that took to do.
So there's this track, which you heard, by the way, the one where I played all the piano myself. What I actually did for the chords on that one is like I picked out like, I think it was just something like an F minor 9 or something. And I just went to the tempo and just go, and again, and again, and again, and another one. And then so then I have like the MIDI that's sort of natural in like different velocities and slightly different attacks or starting points. And what I did then is just drag all the notes of each chord up and down until it made a nice progression. So I have natural sounding chords and the timing and the velocity is natural.
Yeah.
But all the notes are just chosen at a later point.
Yeah, it's such a good cheat, and the reason I'm laughing is like I do the same exact thing. Like as I like look at my MIDI keyboard in front of me, I'm like, "Yep, that's exactly how I do it." Just the cheat.
I do, and also like even with my right hand, I can play the F minor scale up and down. Which if you listen to the track. It's exactly what the melodies in that track are. It's just the F minor scale up and down and up and down and up down.
Wait, which track is this? Is it the one that's out or is it just like?
It's not out yet.
Okay, yeah.
But it's. You gave me some tips on the piano back when I sent it to you.
Okay, I remember that. I think it was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah. It's called Operating on Instinct.
Nice.
Maybe the name rings a bell.
Yeah, no, I remember because like I specifically remember like the talking about playing piano, and here I am trying to like give piano advice, and I play the piano terribly. So, but I know how to cheat, and now we both know how to cheat. So yeah, it works.
Yeah. Also, what I have been doing on that track as well is just to put the chords on repeat and just fiddle away over it and just keep going and keep on going.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you have like maybe 10% of it that's any good. And I take all the rest out and I put these bits after one another. And then I sort of have a passable melody.
Whoever's listening, you're learning the gold tips from Auris right now.
This is how to cheat at being a musician.
But like it's like whatever works, really. But speaking of your tunes, speaking of your tracks, how was working with Colette Warren? Because we just finished up a tune. I was like, wow, okay. Because when you get like, never mind, you just go first. 'Cause I'll talk about that later. But yeah, how was that?
Yeah, so I heard her actually on that EP coming up of her. So that's really cool, actually.
Thanks.
For me, working with her was actually just so easy. Because I think it was literally just, hey, I have this instrumental. And she said, cool, I will try something on it. And like a few days later, probably she came back, like, here's a rough sketch, which was already sounding like
right,
amazing.
Exactly.
And I'm like, okay, don't change anything, just get it into the proper mic, and we're good.
Mm-hmm.
And so she did, and she got me the vocals, and that's all there was to it. Because even when I got her vocals, I think processing on it was really, really minimal. Like barely any EQing, maybe a bit of compression. Because it was already sounding so good, I could really just plop it in the project, and I was good to go.
Yeah, it's like this is how it is working with a professional. Because like
it is.
Yeah, because I don't know if like it happened to you, but like she sent me some message like a few months ago. It's like, hey, I really like your stuff. I'm working on her new EP, and like, do you have anything? I It's like, wait, why you want to talk to me? Like you are, like, I mean, talk to her. Like I kind of know her now, so it's like we're friends. We have like this working relationship. But before it's just like you're like a legendary Colette Warren. Like I can list like half of your discography right now as just a fan. Why are you trying to work with me right now? I don't know if I have anything. But then, like you said, I just like sent her a few things. She's like, I like this one. And then a week later, there's like vocals that are already done. And it's just, the whole process is, it's so effortless and you don't think it'll be that way. I don't know. At least it was at least it was that time. Yeah.
And so I actually got in touch with her through Pixis. Because she works at this publishing company, or she runs this publishing company.
Yeah.
And I believe she also collects like the royalties for Colette.
Okay.
And she was able to actually get us in touch.
Nice. Yeah, that's another good person to know. I talked to her yesterday. Just like, I think she sent me a message. She's like, "What do you think about this tune?" I'm like stuck on it. I was like, "Yeah, it's cool. I think you can just like gave her some ideas." She was just kind of the usual stuck. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, "You want to work on this too? I can send you stems." I'm like, "That's a good way to do that." And then 5 minutes later, she gives me a Dropbox.
I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah. Then 5 minutes later, she gives me a Dropbox link, and I'm like working on it. Like, all right, what do you use for this synth? Because I want to do this, and it's just like, I don't know where I was going, but like that, just like she's a really good person to know, because she's like she helps out with all like the gold fat stuff as well, and like getting to know. I think I don't know if I met you first, and then that was happening, but yeah, just another like side note of good people to know like around, and she like knows everyone and like everything. So when you want to get in contact, you can just be like, "Hey, do you know this person? Yeah, let me just give you their phone number and their mom's name," basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we actually, well, I was following you like slightly before I got onto Goldfat. So I remember you did this release on this Ledge Sound compilation.
Yeah. It was my first one.
Prospects?
Yeah, Prospects. Volume, I don't know. Yeah, Prospects.
something with Prospects.
Yeah.
I think that's where I kind of discovered you, and then I also found your YouTube channel, which I think at that point didn't have as much content on
nothing. The awkward videos I try not to look at now.
But I remember just thinking, like, why is this guy not on any labels? Why is he doing all these self-releases?
Yeah, that's a thing.
To be fair, it worked out in the end.
Yeah, I think that's how I try to rationalize it now. Because I definitely look back, not that I like could have, I'm so good, I can just be on any label. But it's like, you could have like reached out. But I think it was like learning that whole process. And then self-releasing is such a process of the like setting, like just like not typing your name wrong and then sending it to Spotify and then figure it out on the day of release. It's under like the wrong thing. The name has like 6 typos. Like, I could just have somebody do this for me if I just wrote a better song. I think it's a good segue into. So we're definitely both just like the newer. I guess. What is it? What's the word? The newer, not guard. I don't know. Generation. There you go.
New wave.
Good word. We're the new wave. Put it to. Yeah, I'm gonna quote you on that, Auris, from now on. So we're the new wave of producers. Like, how do you feel that's like, I guess, affected you? Because you're one person I know that talks about like growing as an artist and doing these things outside of just writing good music. So how do you think, like, especially in the last year, you've like, I guess something you've learned or something you've tried and it's worked out? Because I can definitely see from like my point of view that whatever you're trying is working out. But what is it? What's the secret?
So one thing that I feel very strongly about is that when I'm sitting here with Ableton open, cheating away on my MIDI keyboard, that's when I'm making music and I'm having fun.
Yeah.
But then at some point I close Ableton because the track is finished, and I send it out. And then one head goes off, and one head comes on, and now I'm the business person, the chief marketing officer of Auris.
Nice.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, that's of course a bit blown up, but you get.
No, I know the exact feeling.
So, I'm always. I'm actually good to know. I come from a background. I studied bachelor's in marketing, and so I would say I know a thing or two about marketing.
Yeah.
And the most important rule or like advice is to just go out there and do something.
Yeah, that's
especially like at this scale, we're not $1 million business needing like a brand identity plan written out.
Yeah.
What you do need to do is just spend some time with it and just get stuff done.
Yeah, that's
and I know too many people who just they have their music, and at one point they're happy with it, and it's coming out on a label even, and they will make a Facebook post saying, "Hey, this is out tomorrow," and they will close their Facebook again. They will open their DAW again, and you will hear again from them in a few months.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're really relying on the labels to do a good marketing push for you when there's so much you can do yourself as well.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I think that's definitely one of the things I've been focused on in the last year. And because there's always the fight, like you get it, you have to market, you have to be social media. Everyone can't be Caliber and exist in the 2000s, and then you can just not coast on your music, but get by on the music. Like even he has like Instagram now, even though it might just be somebody else running it. But it's just so necessary. And what's even more necessary is finding a way that works for you. Like I can't be the guy putting like shaky videos of my monitor, like check out this drop. But I can make like a stupid post about some joke, and then like the next line is, oh yeah, I got music coming out. And then people like, it's not like necessarily clickbait because it's still me. It's like, it's genuinely something I'm doing, just being an idiot in my off time. But then it works.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
You need to find some way to still be you as a person, but still doing marketing. And like for me as well, I don't put up a post every single day on my Facebook page or on my Instagram. And, there's some artists who are really good at it, or maybe just spending a whole lot of time on it.
Yeah.
Who are really every single day they are trying to engage. What I like to do is whenever I have a release coming up, also it's very good to just ask the label and say, hey, what's like the plan for the promotion of this release, and how can I make sure that how can I amplify that and push it even further?
Yeah.
For example, when I got the first 2 tracks on Goldfed, Johnny asked me, Mike asked me, do I wanna do one of the what are they called? Fat Top, Gold Top,
the mixes,
the mix series.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a mix for this? And I was like, yeah, but you know what? Maybe I can make some stuff happen and do like a video session of the mix, which turned out to be the one I did in the office.
Yeah. See, that's
and that's for me. That's like the difference between, do I kind of sit back and let it happen, and then I would have a nice mix up on Mixcloud, and it would be cool.
Yeah.
Or do I try and be proactive in finding a way to take it a bit further, and then I guess a similar thing is actually the video you did for Solvent, where you were tasting just random shit which you bought in like an American store, but you pretended it was from the UK.
No, it was from the UK. So yeah, no,
I mean, the brands were from the UK, right? But you bought it.
Yeah, like the store is like, it's like a British shop. Like everything comes like imported.
Actual. Okay.
Yeah, and then Yeah, so it was all like from there, which is why I didn't have a whole lot because I like went on a day where they were just like out of stock because apparently people here like Marmite and stuff, which is apparently disgusting. But anyway, yeah, that's like it's just going like that extra bit to make it like personal instead of just sticking a mix up, which is it's just fine. I mean, you can put a mix on, somebody can just go do whatever else, but then adding like another touch, especially like now when people just want to consume stuff that's on the internet
Yeah.
and like visually or like podcast as well, like even adding like a video component like this to podcast is it was weird at first, just like a podcast is supposed to be just like AM radio talk, and now there's like people have on full on productions to where it's like an hour long movie like video with like
Yeah.
3 different camera angles and you're still talking about the same stuff, but it adds just that much more. And
Yeah,
from
that's the thing. Like people, in the end, if you have a Spotify profile with a few good tunes on it,
Mhm.
people, or at least speaking from my perspective, if I find someone like that,
yeah,
I will put these tunes in my playlist, and maybe like a few months down the line, I will stumble upon the tune again and click through to the artist again. Whereas if someone has, a video doing some stupid stuff, or like a video, like a mixed video, or maybe just some few posts with a photo of yourself talking about something, or have something that
Yeah.
shows, okay, this is a profile with a few audio files. There's actually a person behind here.
Yeah, I think, and it really is useful. I guess it's getting over that like self-conscious hump of like putting yourself visually out there. Like I'm used to it now, but I still like look at videos, or like yesterday I was like editing a video, like, and I get these weird like kind of out of body experiences, I guess, which is a weird thing, but just like I'm watching myself watch myself watch myself. So I'm like watching the video, I'm like, why did you say it that way? And like, this is weird. Like I know too much how I sound and like what I look like on video than the average person does, and it's just weird. And I'm like trying to cut up this thing. I'm like, most people don't look at themselves in this kind of way. Just like you don't sit in the front of the mirror all day, or you don't like. I'm at the store, but you're not watching yourself at the store get groceries.
Yeah.
And like, why did you not buy that thing? Or why did you? So it's so weird. But once you get past that, it's like you can market or find out a way to make it marketable or put it into marketing. Because
like for the gold fat, the full fat compilation, they asked us to, just grab your phone and do a little selfie. I think it was talk about something like drum and bass to me means such and such.
Yeah.
And gold fat to me is blah blah blah. And I must have done like 20, 30, maybe 40 takes of that. Just every time I said or I wasn't enthusiastic enough, or I was too overly enthusiastic. And it's the same when I watch my Twitch streams back as well, where I'm just sitting there and I think, why do I talk like that? Like, I know that I'm Dutch, but why does my accent have to be so Dutch?
Man, okay, it's always good to know like it's just not me, because I swear I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Just like that.
I think everyone does it.
Yeah, but it's
just 1 second. The sun is kind of going down here and it's getting really dark.
Okay.
So
yeah, I can flip it
live on the podcast, I will be climbing over my desk with the blinds up. If you have just a second.
Yeah, I mean, I can always edit it or just leave it in for the people who watch.
Leave it in if you want. Well, I'm almost falling.
This podcast is sponsored by Time Zones, getting things worked out across the country. Here we go. Slides are coming up. Success.
There we are.
Success. There you go. Nice. Now it's a dramatic evening jazz podcast lighting. There you go.
It kind of is, though. The view from here is actually really nice.
Yeah, nice.
But you know what? Let's not talk about the view. Let's talk about some music.
All right. Perfect segue. So, The View by LSB and DRS. It's just one of the best Liquid tunes ever. Never mind, that was a bad joke, but we can. yeah. Oh, but just kind of like what we were talking about, just adding like a personal touch, and it's like it doesn't even have to like be your face or you on video or something. It could always be something else. Like, trying to think of an example. Like some people just have like, oh, this is my dog, and my dog likes my music, and they'll put like headphones on the dog, and then like the dog's like bopping away, and like that's like now TikTok is a thing. You can do that and be like famous on TikTok, which is not terrible. I mean, as long as people listen to your music, but it's like you don't think that's a possibility sometimes.
One of the first releases that I did, what I did was every 2 or 3 days I would post one inspiration of mine.
Yeah, I think I
had a bunch of vinyl records. So one of FD, and I just took a picture of it because the Facebook algorithm really likes pictures. You know, just take a picture of whatever, and I added some text to it, like this is a big inspiration of mine. How he does the drums, how he does the sounds.
Yeah.
Next up, I did one for Herbie Hancock, which is another one I have on vinyl.
Yeah, you've been.
I'm one of those people, by the way,
yeah,
who
you've been collecting
needs to mention for every track that he has it on vinyl. By the way.
Yeah, that's a next thing I know. Like whenever, it's basically when I get like a more permanent place to live. It's like I can start collecting vinyl because right now I just have like my old parents' like vinyl, which is like in storage basically, and then I have like the few records with my own tunes I've got lucky enough to get, and then that's it.
That's still like somewhere right on the top of my bucket list to have my own music on vinyl.
You're getting there. I mean, vinyl's such a weird thing. It's just like some labels can do it and then some like try, but it's just like financially it's not the greatest idea sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, I was actually talking about this on Discord earlier today. You know, there's like these older labels, I guess, which seem to have like the smallest artists, but still somehow put them on vinyl.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just being very well connected in like the world of, you know, record shops, vinyl fairs, and
there's just like collectors that want vinyl, like no matter, well, not necessarily, I guess, no matter who the artist is, but it doesn't have to be like a huge selling out artist to sell out, you know, 500 vinyl pressings, you know. And then there's like the whole, I feel like this could be an episode at some point, just like people on Discogs is just like, they want like rare, not even rare, it's just like something could have sold out a week ago and then someone posts on there and then you'll see a message like, I'll give you $300 for this one vinyl record. It's like,
I don't really participate in that. I think that's kind of stupid, to be honest. But I also, actually quite recently, I got myself a pair of turntables.
Yeah,
so I can actually mix with vinyl now.
I need to learn that.
Because I've been mixing on like CDJs and controllers for, well, a long time. I think since I was 16 or so, I did it for the first time. So that's 8 years or so.
Yeah.
But at some point, I kind of stopped doing it completely unless I had a gig. Because honestly, mixing on CDJs, it becomes, especially when you have like the memory queue set up, it goes, okay, there's so many memory queues to the breakdown here. Then I'm gonna put it so many memory queues away from the drop here. Play, do it really quick, be able to do a really quick mix effortlessly, do the next one, and you know, it was not really a challenge for me. So unless I was at a gig or either I was recording a podcast or a mix or something, I was doing it to, I guess, profile myself and put a bit of marketable content out there.
Yeah.
I was never really doing it because I felt I was too much just looking screen, okay, counting, okay, next screen, counting.
Yes.
And now with spinning vinyl, by the way, I don't believe that it's like this super elite skill that you need to acquire.
Just as easy once you like learn it. I have to do it.
If you practice it for a little while, it becomes just as easy. But what it does have going for it is that you don't have any of that display stuff. So you really need to just listen to a track, know your next track, know when to cue it in, and just let it happen.
Yeah.
And you can do like switch, double, triple drop, switch. You're kind of forced to just enjoy the music and ride it out a bit.
Yeah.
And that's making it so much more fun for me.
That's awesome, man. That's like, I feel like I have that same battle with DJing sometimes. And like the most I do, like right now, I mean, is just the streams and stuff every week. And you'll just see like, and I'll say it, like just get kind of antsy. Like I just want to do, like, so I'll get into like a point where like 15 minutes is just like, how many tracks can I throw at this at the same time? But then usually it's just like, I just kind of want to let tracks ride out and stuff. But you feel awkward kind of the same way because you know you can hit a button and have like more tracks going. And so like vinyl kind of lets you relax, kind of sit back, let the tune ride out. It's like, I compare it to like photography, like shooting digital versus shooting on film. Like digital, it'll like, you can really just hit a button and it'll be nice and set for you. But like analog cameras, you'll have make sure you get your exposure right, your shutter speed, all this stuff. And then you only have so much film. And film's expensive right now. So it's like, make sure I shoot the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same, I guess, with vinyl as well. Also in terms of, what kind of records do I want to collect?
Mm-hmm.
That's already a lot more involved than saying, okay, I want to get this EP, this album, this one, put them all on my USB stick, and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's already so much more involved at the start, especially when I was just starting to collect stuff. I could maybe do one set if I planned out and I used all the A and B sides very well.
Yeah.
And at some point, like I said, I was getting into the more rough stuff, so more 0T, some dispatch, some CIA stuff, total science. But yeah, if I wanted to play that, then tough luck because all you have is some caliber and some FD, liquid FD stuff.
Man. Yeah.
So I went out and I had to actually go and buy these tracks and then wait for them to arrive. And suddenly you're much more like they really feel like this is my collection and this is my tracks and they are my identity to a point.
Yeah, it's definitely having like the physical thing in front of you makes such a difference. And
yeah,
like I'm not like neither of us are that like young to where we don't remember like CDs and stuff. And like, but between like that, there's like the whole gap between when I was younger and had CDs, and then I had like an iPod, I guess when I was like 16 or something. And then now I'm like going back to physical like stuff. And then not only is it just like a physical record or something I made is on it. So it's like, here it is. It's real. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have yet to feel that, but
you will get there. Yeah.
I hope so. And I think it will happen eventually.
Definitely, man. You know what? I think it's we're getting to a good stopping point, but I have just like one more thing. What's your best piece of advice for a DJ or a producer that's an expert or just coming up? Yeah.
So you just said we have a good stopping point, and I asked this. So just know we're gonna go on for another.
Yeah, I know, but trust me, I'm figuring out how to work it to a good stop. Just
Yeah. So one piece of advice I would give is be mindful of your workflow.
Okay.
And that happened especially in the beginning. Of course, when you're still discovering a lot more, then you're less set in your ways and you're less optimized in going about it. But at some point I figured, okay, I always tend to pick a few old breaks, chop them up, high pass them, layer them, find a nice kick to go with them, find a nice snare layer to go with them. That was basically always my process for drums.
Yeah.
And I did that every time again. And I did it from zero every time again.
I know that feeling.
Until at some point I was like, okay, wait, I can be more efficient about this. And now every time when I pick a new old break to when I pick an old break to chop up and to work into something usable, I make sure that whatever happens to the project, that breaks goes into a different folder where I save all the breaks.
Mm.
And the same for the bass patches that I make, they all go in a folder. And now I'm at a point where even I did it on a stream one time where I was like, okay, let's make some drums. And I was like, think, break, shuffle, let's do that. Let's take, I don't know, some other old break. Take this one because it has nice heads in it. Take this one, go to my kicks folder. This kick I made some other time. Click, 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 boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Adjust a few EQs, adjust a few levels, and I had the solid drum group standing in like 30 minutes maybe. And that's not because I'm so great at doing drums, but that's just because I got my process down and I got it optimized and I know the stuff that I want to do and I know, like, I reuse my building blocks that I make.
There you go. Perfect.
Because when you do that, it's one more piece to add.
Yeah.
But when you do that, then you leave yourself time to, experiment on the new stuff, whether that's finding your own sound or whether that's discovering new techniques to distort basses, whatever.
Yeah.
But make sure you have your building blocks down and you have the process of them down, because then you can have more time to develop your real sounds.
Nice. Okay.
This has been Auris. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, there we go. That's this perfect advice from Auris, aka the new wave of drum and bass. Yeah. All right. So
let me just do the new wave.
There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in there too. Anyway, yeah. So the usual. Where can people find you? What's your social media stuff where we can see your marketing and Twitch streams?
It's all under the name of Auris DNB.
Sweet.
So that's on Twitch, that's on Facebook. I have an Instagram, I'm on Twitter. And find me on Discord if you're in the Bad Schnares Anonymous.
Yes,
I'm
perfect.
in there. If you're not in there, go check out the Patreon, which is in the link down in the description.
Now I have to pay you.
I told you I know marketing.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for making this show a show instead of me babbling for an hour. Yeah.
Thank you for having me on here. It has been fun.
Sweet. And that is it. We did it. That's our episode.
All right.
I have to.